It was a moment no one expected. The kind of moment that the cameras couldn't catch, the reporters couldn't document, and the world would never fully understand. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun had been the golden couple of a generation. The pairing everyone thought was perfect. Every smile, every hand gesture, every glance had been dissected, admired, and celebrated. Yet behind the glimmer of the spotlight, behind the carefully curated appearances and the endless interviews, there existed a truth only the two of them knew. And that truth came in the form of a goodbye. Fans had followed their story for years. They'd watched the highs and the lows, the moments of undeniable chemistry, and the subtle tension that occasionally appeared in public. But no one ever saw the private goodbye. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't public. It was quiet, intimate, and devastating. They had met one last time after a small fan event, away from the cameras, away from the flashing lights. Just two people who had loved, who had lived, who had carried each other in their hearts through years of separation and misunderstanding. Kim Go-eun had been composed, yet the tremor in her hands betrayed the weight of what she was about to do. Lee Min-ho, always the protector, always the one with the confident smile, felt the air tighten around him. He sensed that this moment would linger forever. And then she spoke. Her voice was low, barely above a whisper, but it cut through everything. Min-ho, I have to let you go. For a moment, the world froze. He blinked as though trying to convince himself he'd misheard. But the way she held his gaze, steady, unwavering, sorrowful, told him everything he needed to know. The goodbye wasn't about anger. It wasn't about betrayal. It wasn't about fame or career or public pressure. It was about love. Love as real and as raw as it had ever been, but love that could no longer survive under the weight of circumstances they could not control. Kim Go-eun continued, each word deliberate, each syllable a blade that cut through his defenses. I loved you more than anyone else ever could, Min-ho. But sometimes love isn't enough. The words landed like stones. Lee Min-ho's chest tightened. He wanted to argue, to plead, to convince her otherwise. But he couldn't, because he knew deep down that she was right. Their careers, their schedules, the public's expectations. Everything had created a pressure cooker around them, one they could not escape. And so she let go. In that quiet moment, away from the cameras, she handed him a small notebook. It wasn't signed or sealed. There were no declarations of love. No dramatic statements. Just memories. Photos, notes, small mementos from years they had spent together. Moments no one else had witnessed. Every page a testament to the time they had shared. The laughter, the quiet evenings, the stolen moments between shoots. Lee Min-ho held it carefully, almost reverently. Every memory in that notebook was a reminder of what they had lost, and what they had loved. You don't have to respond, she said. I needed you to know. And with that, she walked away. The cameras didn't catch it. The public never knew. But those who would later follow their social media noticed subtle changes. Lee Min-ho became quieter, more reflective. A hint of sorrow flickered in his eyes during interviews. Fans speculated endlessly. Was it a role? A personal struggle? Or something else? Kim Go-eun, too, carried herself differently. Her performances gained depth, a quiet intensity that spoke to the emotions she could no longer express openly. Every smile had a hint of sadness, every glance a memory unshared. Weeks later, fans noticed a post on Lee Min-ho's social media. A single photo of an empty park bench at sunset, with the caption, "Some moments stay with you forever." It was subtle, almost poetic, and yet millions immediately understood. It wasn't a cryptic message. It was a confession, a reflection, a silent acknowledgement of the goodbye they shared. Meanwhile, Kim Go-eun posted a photo of a single white flower lying on a windowsill. The caption read, "Not every ending is a failure. Some are simply necessary." Together, the post spoke volumes, without ever naming each other. The fans speculated endlessly. Was this heartbreak? Was it a breakup? Or had they simply chosen to love in silence, preserving what they had without exposing it to the world? Every comment, every thread, every discussion spiraled. Some demanded an explanation. Others offered their sympathy. Many speculated about reconciliation. But the truth remained theirs alone. Because the goodbye was not a failure. It was a gift. A final, tender gesture that honored what they had shared, without destroying what they had left in each other's hearts. Months passed. Life moved forward. Projects were completed. Awards were won. And yet, in quiet moments, in fleeting glances, the memory of that day lingered. Lee Min-ho, during a rare interview, was asked about lost love. His expression softened. A gentle smile touched his lips. And he said simply, "Some people leave a mark on your heart. Forever. No matter where they go." Kim Go-eun never responded publicly. But a fan noticed her expression during a broadcast, an almost imperceptible smile, tinged with a bittersweet sadness, as if she too remembered. The goodbye that fans never knew was powerful not because of drama or scandal. It was powerful because it was real. Time has a way of softening pain but sharpening memory. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun moved forward professionally, pursuing projects, roles, and appearances. But their shared past remained, tucked away in quiet moments, in secret smiles, in the invisible threads connecting their hearts. Some nights, when the world was silent, they remembered. The laughter, the small gestures, the intimacy of being seen only by each other. And perhaps that was the beauty of their goodbye. It wasn't meant for anyone else. It was sacred. It belonged to them. Fans still speculate. Every public appearance, every post, every interview is dissected. Questions swirl endlessly. Will they reunite? Was it really over? Did Lee Min-ho regret letting her go? Did Kim Go-eun ever truly move on? But the beauty lies in the mystery. The goodbye was theirs, and theirs alone. Because some endings don't need explanation. Some words don't need to be broadcast. Some love doesn't need the world to witness it. And in that silence, in that private farewell, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun found something enduring. Something far greater than public approval. Far greater than fan speculation. It was a memory, a moment, a promise kept quietly between two hearts. The goodbye that fans never knew is a reminder. Love doesn't always mean holding on. Sometimes it means knowing when to let go. And sometimes, the most profound messages are the ones whispered in silence, felt in glances, carried in memory. Kim Go-eun's final words to Lee Min-ho were not dramatic or shouted to the world. They were simple, honest, and unrepeatable. "I loved you, but I have to let you go." And for Lee Min-ho, that was enough. Enough to remember